In the time that Hypixel Skyblock has been released, there have been countless videos about people maxing this stat or another stat, but recently they added a brand new stat to the menu that has always existed, they've just never displayed, and that is the true defense stat. In Hypixel Skyblock, defense decreases the amount of damage that you take. However, there is another kind of damage which is true damage, and that goes through defense. However, there is another kind of defense called true defense, and that decreases the amount of true damage you take. You start out with a base of 0 true defense, and today I'm going to be maxing out the stat to the absolute most. This video will probably require about 3 billion coins worth of items, and is it worth it? Probably not. Before we get too far into it, I want to remind you that this video has taken a lot of work and a lot of coordination. It actually required me to borrow one of the most expensive items in the entire game, so if you enjoy and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, I do recommend you stick around until the end because I will be doing a giveaway of one of the items I use in this video. I'm going to be building up how I maxed out this stat from the very beginning, and so the first thing I have to do is get rid of my god pot, and so I'm going to drink a little bit of milk, and okay, now I don't have a god pot. The only thing I have active right now is a cookie, and I don't really have anything else. At the moment, I have exactly 0 true defense. It doesn't even show up in the stat menu because I have none of it. Now that my god pot is gone, the first thing that I have to buy is actually once again a god pot, and of course not very expensive, and so currently the total price of buying this is very cheap, and I think right now we are up at 500k total price. The next thing that we have to do to max out true defense is our armor. Of course, right now I have a set of Legion 5 Renowned Sorrow, and that gives a lot of true defense. You can see each piece gives a ton. However, my chest plate doesn't have the True Prot enchant, so I need to go buy that and then I'll put it on. If I add the price of Clean Sorrow armor, which is around 13 mil, and I add that to the cost of Legion, which is around 21 mil per Legion 5 book, and then I add that to the cost of Renowned, and then I add that to the cost of the True Prot book, I think it works out to around 126 million coins. By combining these two, I now officially have the best possible set for true defense in Hypixel Skyblock. However, that is not it. The next thing that we have to take a look at is pets. There are only a few pets in the game that give true defense, and by far the best one of these is the Mithril Golem. A maxed out Mithril Golem costs around 8.5 mil, so it's not really that expensive. However, to max it out entirely, I need one more thing. Of course, pets can hold items, and the one pet item that actually increases true defense is the Minos Relic. I bought this a little while back when it was around 45 mil, but this Minos Relic would cost 47 mil, and I have one. It is right here, and oh my god, this is gonna really hurt, but I have to put it on my Mithril Golem, and boom, there is the maxed out pet for true defense. If I combine the price of the Mithril Golem with the price of the Minos Relic, it works out to around 53 million coins, and this really hurts. This is probably the most disgusting pet I've ever seen, because the Minos Relic is actually just worse than the 40% mining XP boost, in my opinion. But, you know, whatever you gotta do. There is currently one sword in the game that gives max true defense, and that is the Estrella. The Estrella gives a bonus 20 true defense on top of my other stats, and this will kind of hurt because I'm converting a Hype to an Estrella, and it's a pretty useless weapon. However, this is the second best thing that you can do for true defense in the game, and now I have it. Just as a quick status update, I currently have a lot of true defense, and I'm in a Hub 1, so maxed out Legion, and I have 848 true defense. However, you can go higher. When I said that the Estrella gives the most true defense in the game on a weapon, it is correct that there are no weapons that give more true defense as a raw stat. However, there is one item in the game, there is one sword that increases its stats based off your pet's stats. Yes, of course, the weapon that I'm talking about is the Daedalus Axe, and as you can see when I'm holding it right now, it gives me an extra 66 true defense, which is 46 true defense better than the Estrella. Just to quickly check in Hub 1 again, I am holding the Daedalus Axe this time instead of the Astrea, and now instead of 848, I have 910 true defense, which is pretty good. Despite this being a lot of true defense, this is not the furthest you can go with it. There are a few more things that we can do, and one of them is the Chimera Enchant. Chimera is by far the most expensive enchant in the entire game, and a Chimera 5 book will cost you upwards of 2 billion coins. Most sane people that get this book will put it on something like a Hyperion, because then you'll do a ton of damage with a sheep pen. However, there are 3 absolutely insane people who have gone so far as to put it on a Daedalus Axe. The first of these 3 people is a man named Pavjimon. He is one of the best Yeti killers in the entire game and has killed over 2,000 Yetis. He has a Chimera 5 Daedalus Axe so then he can get more Yeti pets, and he actually lent it to my guild master named _Young Gravy. However, at the moment, Young is actually security banned, and I need this now for the last part of this video, and so I can't go for Pav's axe. The next person who owns one of these insane axes is Refraction, and he's by far the most well-known person who has one. However, I can't actually message him. I'm not quite clouded enough for that, so subscribe so I can eventually message Refraction. However, there is one more person that I know of who actually does have a Chimera 5 Daedalus Axe. The last person who owns one of these absolutely insane weapons is named Mushroom Huntress, and he made it a while back, and I really don't know why he made it, but apparently it was a long-time goal of his, and I actually know him. I used to be in a guild with him. The issue with this is, of course, it is a 2 billion coin weapon, and I didn't really expect that I would just be able to ask for it and just get a response, and I thought it would sort of be like, no, I don't lend it out. However, I actually surprisingly got a response. After a little bit of convincing, I managed to convince Mushroom Huntress to lend me their Daedalus Axe. This is by far one of the most expensive items in the entire game, and it's by far the most expensive enchant, and I am very surprised that anybody would ever even think to lend me this, and there it is. That is one of the single most expensive items in the entire game. This is ridiculous. When I'm holding my Daedalus Axe, it gives me a bonus 66.7 true defense. But when I'm holding Mushroom's Daedalus Axe, it gives me 133 true defense. And yes, this is only a buff of 66 true defense, but boy, no, it wasn't worth it. Like I mentioned earlier, this enchant costs nearly 2 billion coins, and while it is good on some things, I promise the intended use of it is not max true defense. Once again, I'm here in a Mega Hub to check out what a max Legion buff does, and with Chimera 5 Daedalus Axe, maxed out Sorrow Armor, a Minos Relic Mithra Golem, a God Pot, and everything possible, I have 998 true defense. To quickly check out that this is indeed max true defense, I'm going to test a few things. First, I'm going to hold my Astrea, and I'm going to use a Dragon Pet in the Mega Hub, and this only gives me 835 true defense. While that would be good for most people, I am a true man, and I need over 1,000. Just to quickly test whether or not this would be better, I got a party of Max Legion, and I am in a Nether Island, and I actually have a Blaze Pet equipped holding my Astrea, and once again, it is not quite as good as the Minos Relic Mithra Golem. This is really, really weird because I thought it might actually be better. However, the Minos Relic Mithra Golem in the Chimera 5 Daedalus Axe manages to beat out even a maxed out party with basically everything you can get. To quickly explain why I actually needed to do this now and I couldn't wait for Young to get unbanned, I need to explain what this is. This is the Blood God Shrine, and every 20 minutes or so it gives you a random perk from a list of many. Right now, it is farming experience, and that means that for the next 20 minutes or so, we will get a bonus 25% farming experience. However, there are a bunch of these different perks, and there are 2 of them that increase your true defense. The first perk that increases true defense is the Fairy Soul Infusion, and that gives you a 2 times stat increase whenever you claim a Fairy Soul. I'm pretty sure it's kind of bugged, and so I don't know if it'll work entirely correctly for true defense. However, if that works, it'll be really, really good. If that doesn't work, there is another perk which gives you 2 times pet stats, and of course my pet gives me plus 66 true defense, and with that plus Chimera, I think that it could be very, very good. After quite a bit of waiting, I finally managed to get the double pet stats buff, Shrine buff, and it is absolutely insane. This buffs all pet stats by 2 times, not the ability, just the stats. However, as you can see, my Jerry gives minus 200 intel. Things like this just exist, and now I have a 600 intelligence Phoenix. However, the one that we actually care about is the 133 true defense from the Mithril Golem. Also, as you can see here, my Daedalus Axe now gives 266 true defense, which is pretty much, I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen on an item, and now that I'm in a Mega Hub, I can finally check how much maxed out true defense I can get with this perk. And the answer is 1,265 true defense. Although it doesn't explicitly state how much it actually decreases the true damage by, I'm going to assume that it's the same as defense scaling, and that would mean that I am currently getting a 92.67% true damage reduction. Although this isn't an entirely maxed out set of Sorrow armor and it only has G5P5, this means that I have 21,000 true EHP, and that's not regular EHP, that is true EHP. That is how much true damage I would take before I died. Also, to quickly test another stat, just because I can, right now I have a level 100 Griffin that has a Lucky Clover Core on it, and this pet alone gives me 34 Magic Find right now. I also have the exact same armor, Legion 5 Renowned Sorrow. I have all of my everything possible, so that means Talismans enriched to Magic Find, I have my Beacon on Magic Find, and I ate my cakes. And if we combine all of that, I have a whopping 342 Magic Find. Also, to quickly check how much Sea Creature chance I could get, I am also holding out the Chimera 5 Daedalus Axe once again, and I have a Dolphin, and with this I can get 166 Sea Creature chance. I believe that with a Chimera Shredder, it could be a little bit higher, however I'm not entirely sure on that, and I think that this might be the best possible Sea Creature chance one could ever get. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure the Daedalus Axe is better than the Shredder, because the Shredder would give 19 plus whatever the Chimera would give, and this gives 20 plus whatever Chimera would give, meaning that you actually get more Sea Creature chance holding an axe than you do holding a fishing rod. Also, just because I do want to know definitively, I went out and put Renowned on my Shark Scale instead of Submerged, and yes, this really hurt me. I promise it hurt me just as much as you, and it only gives 166. It will not go above that with either Reforge, and I think this is probably the max Sea Creature chance you could ever get. I'm currently having way too much fun with this axe. I put out a blue whale pet, and I'm once again holding the axe, and I'm using Superior in a Mega Hub, and I have 4,789 health and 2,309 defense in a Superior, putting me at a little over 115,000 health, effective health. And that is with no reforges or anything that are designed for EHP. If you put like Giant on this and you got like Giant Goldor holding something like this, you could probably get in the hundreds of thousands of EHP. This has probably been the stupidest waste of money I've ever had in this game, and of course, while I didn't waste money on this because it's not mine, I did a lot of other very, very dumb things, and boy, have I maxed out a lot of stats. I didn't really expect that I would be able to get max true defense and max magic find and max Sea Creature chance all in the same video, but you know, it is pretty cool that one can do any of these things with this kind of perk. To end off this video, I do have to part ways with this wonderful, wonderful axe, and I do really want to shout out Mushroom Huntress. He has helped out a ton with this video, and I'm surprised that anybody would ever give me something that unbelievably dumb. With this, we've managed to do some very great and some very, very stupid things, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. I do want to quickly note that yes, I know some of these stats could be increased even more inside dungeons, however, I feel like that's kind of lame, and it's much more interesting to go for these stupid maxed out stats outside of dungeons, because then you can play with things like Legion more easily, and overall, I think it was just more fun. If you want to see me try out some of these things in dungeons, and maybe even get some friends to help, or maybe even people with Kata 50, I don't really know, then go comment down below. I don't know if I could do it, but it would be really, really cool if we could manage to get something stupid like 3,000 true defense or something dumb like that. I don't know how any of that would work, but I hope that you guys enjoyed. Also, I will be giving away a Mithril Golem, not the one that I used, but a different one, in my Discord server, discord.gg/dkmcc123. Of course, if you want to mine with it, that's totally fine, but the reason I'm giving this away is because it was a ton of fun last time, and I want to see somebody in the community beat my record of 1,265 true defense. And with that, I'll see you guys later, and adios.